Hi guys, and welcome to my third English tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how you can open a BSP-map file. Moreover, I want to show you how you can apply collision detection to your camera so that you can't move into walls. But at first we need a BSP-map, and if you go in your media folder, then you will find a file called map-20 kdm2.pk3, and this is a simple zip file, but it's called other because I don't know, maybe the developers don't want that you can easily see that this is nothing else than a zip file. And you please copy this file, and then you go into your project folder and add a new folder, and we could call it maps. So, and there we copy this file, but we could rename it to maps. And I only can recommend this to make this in a PK3 file, or you could use something other like .itm Irrlicht tutorial map or something like this. And if you open it with, for example, WinRAR, then you will see some folders, and here are two important ones, or three. So the first very important folder is the maps folder, and in it you will find the BSP map files. Then a very important one is the texture folder, and there you will find the textures of the BSP map. And yes, I don't know what level shots is. Models, there you can find the models. And scripts, there you can find shaders. And later I will show you how you can make your own BSP maps in the end of the tutorial. So, but at first we go back in our project in Delphi, and yes, let's start. At first we need our level, and this is of course an Quake Q3 level mesh, because it's a BSP map file of Quake 3. And then we need our level node, and this is a IC node, and we need geometry. It's an iMesh. This is important for our collision detection. Then we need sector. This is important too for the collision detection, and it's a triangle sector. Yes, and this is enough. Okay, but yes, okay. Or no, it's not okay. We need our anim. It's an animator, and it's a IC node animator. And yes, then we go in our procedure load level 1, and then we start with loading. 1 minute. Sorry, my parents interrupted me. And now loading our BSP map. And at first we need to add to our file system our zip file, so our maps.pk3 file. So we start with fs, this is our file system, add, and then here you can see add zip file archive. So, and now we only need to add the file name, and it's maps.pk3 maps/maps.pk3. So, and now we can load our level. Level is IQ3 level mesh and then get mesh. Then now we are loading a mesh, and at first we need to say which scene manager we want to use, and we want to use SMGR. And then our file name, and this should be maps backslash this is a map from Quake 3 20 something like this. Yes. Okay, and now we need to say it's EHM static. Okay. So now we could say something like if not hello, if not assigned level, then exit. But it's not important. Okay, we could do it. We level, then exit. Okay, and then we go. We want to go on with our geometry. And geometry is level.get mesh, and then O, D, and E. Oh man, there's something wrong. But what's wrong? Get mesh. Okay, 1 minute, I will check it. Oh yes, I'm back, and it's a little bit stupid mistake. We need to do it like this, because we want to load the static objects of this level. Yes. And now we should be able to go on. So now we want to apply our geometry, and geometry is level.get mesh, and then ORD Quake 3 mesh geometry. And here you could see the other objects of this map, for example items and this stuff, or shaders. And but now we need to prepare our level node, and we want to render it as arc-tree because it's better for the performance. But if you got little maps, then it's not necessary, but I only can recommend it. So level node is smgr at octree c node. Now our iMesh, and this is geometry. Then the parent is nothing. Now our ID, let's say -1, and then our minimal polygons per node, and this should be 1024. And now we loaded our map file. We should be able to run the application, and there it is. But my camera's on the wrong position. I need to change the position of my camera. Combine, set position, and a bit higher, 200 maybe. But now you can see you can go into words, and we will fix it. Okay, and you can see that here is something wrong, because and the lights are wrong. There should be torches, and here lava, and this is because these are not static objects, these are shaders. And now I want to show you how you can load shaders. Sorry, one moment. Okay. And at first we need our shader code. Oh no, we don't need it. Sorry. We need an additional mesh. This is of course an iMesh. Then we need an integer called I for a loop. We need a mesh buffer. It's an iMesh buffer. Then we need a material. No, we don't need a material, sorry. And so let's start with loading a map shader. And for this we say additional mesh is level.getMesh ORD. And now we don't want the mesh geometry, we want the items, and these are shaders too. For example, a torch. And then we say additional mesh dot set hardware mapping hint, and we say static. So and then we go on with the loop for I02 additional mesh dot get mesh buffer -1 do. We could do it like this, do begin. Then mesh buffer is additional mesh dot get mesh buffer, and then I. Then oh, I think we need a material. Material is in PS material, Then we need shader index, this is an integer, and we need shader map, and this is a pi shader. Okay, and then we say material is mesh buffer, then of course get material, so, and then we need the shader index is round material dot material type param2. The shader map is level dot get shader const shader index, and if assigned shader map, then we easily say smgr dot add Quake3C node mesh buffer shader map, nothing near because we don't want to have a parent, and 1. And now if we start it, then we will see that torches and lava, and you see it's moving, the lava. Really nice, but the shaders are very bad, and I mean Quake 3 is an old game. And now we only need to do a little thing. We want to apply or to make collision detection, and this shouldn't be so hard. I need to think about it. So the best thing is we start at the ground of our load level 1 procedure, collision, and then we say if assigned level node, then begin sector is smgr dot create octree triangle sector, then the geometry and the level node and our 1024. No, this is not a good idea. This is too much. Let's say 128. It's better. And then let's level node dot set triangle sector and then sector. And after this we only need to say if assigned sector, something like this, I don't know. And then our animator is anim is smgr dot create collision response animator, and now our word is a sector, and our C node is our camera, our radius of this collision, I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether you know how this collision thing looks like. Maybe there's a picture on the internet. response animator. Yes, something like this, but not really. Oh, sorry. Maybe Unity first person controller. Yes, like this thing. No. I only want to have this. Yeah, like this thing. This is an first person controller. And so we start with what was it? So we start with what, let's say I used get a vector 3D and then 10 high, 10, 30, 10. This is the radius. And then the gravity, it's get, oh sorry, it's get vector 3df, and then it's round about -10. -10 is good. It should be 9.81, but we will use -10. And then we need, what was this? So this thing means where your camera is, something like this. So get vector 3df, and then 0.30.0, not dot. You know what I mean, this thing here. And this means that your camera is on the top of this controller, of this first person controller, of this response animator. And yes, then we need the sliding value, and this is not a big number, it's 0.0005. So, and now we say drop sector because we don't need it anymore, and then we say camera.add animator and then anim, and after this we can drop it because we don't need it no more. Oh, and now we are falling, but I haven't the right position. 400, let's say, I don't know. Okay, this was not a good idea. 1000, 1000. Ah, now you can see that everything runs perfect, and we can go inwards and all the stuff. Really nice. And if you want to go up this thing, you need to press space for jumping. Yes, like this. And but I don't like this map. it's really old. And I want to show you how you can make your own maps. But for this you need to have NetRadiant and Quake 3. Fail to start properly at last. No. Uh-oh. So, and for example, my map editor level, I made this map. Hello. Oh, Radiant, there's something went wrong. I will try to restart it, but it's nice to it's really nice to develop with it, because you got features. For example, you got 2 rooms and you want to have the same ground texture, and you want to have the same ground texture scale, so that, for example, if the texture is in stone texture. Oh, now it's running. I could show to you. You can make here these maps, this little blocks, something. Oops. For example, this is a room, and behind it there's a big. Oops. Ah, man. Now everything went wrong. And behind it is a bigger room, like this. And you see, and for example, I want to apply my textures, for example this one, and I want to apply on this thing the same texture. Then you can, and let's normally you would have something like this. Then you got the same texture on 2 different sized objects, and now you want to have that the both of these objects got the same texture scale, and then you only need to select them, press S, and then set axis, and here you can change. No, it was here you can change the scale of this texture to whatever you want. And if you make this, for example, bigger, then you will see that the textures are properly perfect. Every time they are perfect. And for example, I open one of my maps. Project X. My project. I mean Project X, German. Oh, this is not. No, there's something wrong. Open. For example, I made here some maps, and I tested this software, and it's really nice to use. And for example, I will open this map, and then I want, for example, I want to create the BSP-map file, and then I only click on build, and then Quake 3 map 2 final BSP and all this stuff, and it will generate light maps and all this stuff. And in my games I could open my map edit. Oh no. Oh yes, I can open it. This is a map editor I made with Irrlicht, and I want to open this map file, and in Irrlicht the map looks like this. This are the light maps, and it's not perfect only to use BSP maps. You can make nice maps with it, but if you really want to make professional games, and if you really want to make missions and this stuff, you need to make your own editor, because you can build in all the features you want. For example, in this I made this editor because I wanted to add meshes to my levels. For example, with this button, new mesh, and then I can open yes, I can open a mesh, and here I can say whether this should have an animation, so whether this is static, and then I should have here my combine from Half-Life 2, and then I can set the position of it to whatever I think this. And for example, I can I can add lights and set the position of it 450 100 100, not 100, no, 200 and 300, and you see this is my light. And for example, I can change the range of this light. Oops. And yes, it's a lot of work to make a really nice editor for your map files, but you can build in all the features you want, for example triggers, and you don't need to have so much source code for things like adding, for example, if you got a lot of lights and a lot of objects, and so it's, if you really want to make professional games with missions and you know this stuff, and these are bigger missions, then you could do it. Then you could make your own map editor, and it's a good idea to use this map format, to use BSP. In a lot of other things or engines, for example in GLC, you can't load something like this. You can't load BSP maps, or whatever, Unity. You can open objects you created in 3ds and this stuff, but of course you haven't all the features you need for your levels in 3ds or Maya and this stuff. So I only can recommend to use BSP maps, and it's not too hard to create them. And I could show you my map, how I did it. I only got a folder with maps. There I got maps, my menu and my level, and my textures. And yes, I got collision, and yes, I think in the next tutorial I will show you how you can add interface, for example forms, buttons, labels, pictures and this stuff. And maybe we will make a menu. I could show you a menu I made. Project X. Okay, not in full screen because my screen capture software is not good enough for this. This is a new scene I made, and it's only in BSP-map, 2 models with animation and a camera which is flying around. Some background sounds. I will close it, maybe it's too loud. And yes, for example, this animators are very important. For example, here I made a create fly strange straight animator. So at first I made a normal camera scene node, then I made this animator, and you only need to say at first the start point, the end point, and then the time. And I say it needs 40 seconds, and then whether it should loop and ping pong. So whether it should loop, if you start there, and it should paint. For example, if you start there, and then you will go to this point, and then it will do it again and again and again and again. And with ping pong it will do it something like this, you know, but of course on the same position. And there are a lot of other important animators, for example SMGR, is SMGR. Create rotation animator, this is when C node is rotating. Fly cycle, this is when something fly in a cycle. You say for example the center, and then it's flying around the center. Then this I showed you in the menu scene, and collision, follow spline. Yes. And I think we did enough for this tutorial, and I hope we will see us in the next tutorial. And if you like this video, then you can of course subscribe me, or you can, if you got questions and this stuff, you can add me on Skype or write an email. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Bye.